Hey there everyone, I'm King 5 Meteorologist Adam Claibon. Happy Tuesday to all of you out there. We got a mixed bag of weather again today, just like yesterday, with the possibility of storms. We'll have some sunshine, some clouds, and also some rain, and snow levels down a little more today, so maybe in the very tip top of some of those foothill communities could see a few snowflakes as well. We'll get into that, plus we'll talk about where snow is definitely going to fall across the Cascades, where we could see some amounts closer to a foot in some areas. We'll get into that here in a bit. First, a look outside, which you can see T-Mobile Park. We got another game and a matchup that we're going to talk about here later as far as the forecast against the Brew Crew later on this evening. Want to get some payback from yesterday's game after not getting that win back on Monday. Then, of course, we definitely want to get the win out into Denver. Here's a look right now live in Denver where the Kraken will be going up against the Avalanche. Weather much warmer out over that way. Going to be a little breezier, but they're going to be seeing 70s here later this afternoon, and we are nowhere near that. As temperatures are just chilly. Again, I did mention some of those very tip-top parts of our foothill communities could see a few snowflakes mixing in as the snow levels are down to about 1,500 feet. Now, they do climb later on into the week, so I think the opportunity of seeing that is here for the rest of today, tonight, and maybe early into Wednesday before we do start to see that gradual climb back up to about 5,000 feet the later we go into the week. And I did say we have a mixed bag of weather, so here are the storms as are possible again today and tomorrow. Anywhere that you see shaded in that yellowish green color, which is pretty much anywhere near and west of the Cascades. And within some of those stronger storms, if we do have some of that, some small hail will be possible. School on that side right now, looking live in Wishka. You can see those clouds racing through the sky. Of course, this is a time-lapse video, but you can also see the rain that's coming through as we go throughout that time-lapse. Plus, we're seeing more of that too. Out along the south coast, Westport, a cloudy, dreary, and wet day. You can see all the raindrops showing up on the camera lens. Some more sunshine, though, for us there in Bellingham, while seeing more snow as you go up into the mountains and across more of the South Cascades. You can see there, Paradise. That's where we're going to expect to see more of the snow. Now, pollen count is actually relatively high still. I know we've been getting a good amount of rain here recently, but that tree pollen, it is up there. Grass and weed pollen still yet to come here for the season. Temperatures chilly, lower 40s there, closer to Bremerton, sorry. That is where we've had some of that rain-cooled air that's going to be heading our way pretty soon. Now, here's a look, closer look. Western Washington, you can see the showers making their way through. Also noticing some areas of more steady rain now showing up across the north coast. Snow across the Olympics, and then I wanted to hone in on this area in particular right here. As you can see, we're going to circle it in on for you right there over central parts of the Kitsap Peninsula. Maybe some mixing that is happening. And then down this way, too, over the higher areas of more Thurston County. Again, no impacts really expected with any of this at all, but it just comes to show you how chilly the air mass really is. And across the South Cascades is where we expect to see the higher amounts of snow, so advisories are out for that until 5 a.m. tomorrow morning for elevations above 3,000 feet, which could see anywhere between 6 to 18 inches of snow. So putting that into motion, you can see for the rest of today, shower chances kind of off and on in nature. Still expecting them around tomorrow, but we're going to start to lose a little steam with this area of low pressure, so the moisture will start to fade and then finally come to an end as we go tomorrow evening into tomorrow night. A small stretch of dry weather late tomorrow night into early Thursday before this next batch comes in with that next disturbance later on into Thursday afternoon and into Thursday night with more rain on the way. Now, when we're talking about totals, 1/4 of an inch to a 1/2 inch is what we're going to see here across Puget Sound, and then a 1/2 inch to an inch more possible out over the Olympic Peninsula, while you can see the higher amounts of snow are expected across the South Cascades. Snoqualmie Pass, Stevens Pass, maybe a 1/2 foot there into some of those spots, and since it is kind of stretched out through early Friday morning, we're not expecting it to bring any sort of huge issue when it comes to travel. Possible thunderstorm here and there, but really just chilly with off and on showers farther north, highs in the upper 40s there, 49 in Redmond, 47 getting up closer to Everett. We'll top off at 48 in Puyallup and 44 in Shelton. Forecast as we head on into tonight, dropping down into the 30s, and you're going to want to dress warm again. I know I did talk about that second matchup against the Brewers in this series. Going to be kind of cold again. Temperatures in the 40s, low 40s by the end of the game with a few showers still left behind. Here's your 7-day forecast. We're warming towards the latter part of the week. Could hit 60 by the time we head into Saturday. Of course, that's when the Kraken will be back here in Seattle going up against the Avalanche at Climate Place. So hopefully forecast looks pretty great for that. But you can see behind that, we'll get more into the mid-50s again. So not quite done with this chillier pattern just yet. But everyone, hey, take care. Try to enjoy the few bits of sunshine that we have here for the rest of today. Have a terrific Tuesday, and we'll talk to you soon.